Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, audience, amene muli kunja kuonera ndithu TV ato. I've got a special guest in the studio, and today we're talking about tech. Tech is very important. If you don't know, stick around. You're gonna understand why we need to migrate from the local, from the the normal way of doing things into the digital world. So I'm chilling here with Rachel.
Hello.
Mlota.
Mlota.
You already know, all the way from the UK, right?
Yep.
Can you explain yourself though? Why are you in Malawi?
Why am I in Malawi?
Yeah.
I'm Malawian.
Why are you in Malawi?
I'm born and bred.
Oh, yeah?
Malawi. No, not bred. Just born.
Oh yeah? You don't sound like Malawian though.
Well, I was born here, and I actually moved to the UK when I was 7. My mum and dad took me there, and obviously I don't remember a lot of when I was here as a child, but I do remember a few things. Not a lot, but I remember the sun.
Oh, really? That's funny.
But yeah, I remember the small things, core memories that you're just like, wow, you never.
What's the most interesting memory that you have of your childhood?
So I've got the biggest scar on my knee. I was being a naughty kid.
Yeah.
One morning, I woke up, didn't even tell my mom. I just went to one of my auntie's houses, and then my mom was like, why are you always going missing in the morning? You can't just wake up and leave. So then Rebecca, my sister, came and told me, Mom's going to beat you because you just left the house. So then there I was on my bike, biking home. And then I scraped my knee because I went round in a bend and I scraped it so bad. There was blood gushing down my knee. And I went home, and because I was being naughty, I didn't want to tell my mom.
So what did you do?
I just hid it. I legit hid.
That's crazy.
I hid the scar, but obviously I'm sure she eventually found it, but I don't remember her finding it. I just remember hurting myself, and it's the biggest scar on my knee. Yeah. It happened here in Malawi.
Wow. That was way back, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I want to know, how was it transitioning from probably you have you don't have a lot of memories, but then how was it if you pull back into those small memories, transition from Malawi to UK?
Okay, so that's actually a really good question. So the transition was really interesting. At the time, I thought everything was great until I started going to school, and you start realizing you're different and you don't look like everyone else. Obviously, I'm coming from a school with all Black people. Then all of a sudden, I'm the only Black person in the room, and I didn't know I sounded funny.
Oh yeah?
I didn't know I had
an accent.
Yeah. This accent was not there yet. So I was like, hello, my name is Rachel. And I didn't know I was different until years later, I find a recording device that I've always loved singing and music. So my dad bought me this device, which was like a radio with a microphone. And I played it, and I was in secondary school at this time, so my accent's all there and everything. I'm like, who's that kid? That's not you. Me. I was like, I sounded like that, and that's when I realized this is why I got bullied.
Yeah, definitely. You're like, this kid from Malawi. This kid from Malawi is here. Yeah, that's crazy, man.
Yeah, so I remember things like that, and obviously we had a lot of racism. We were. One of the first, I think me, my sister, and my cousin, Daniel, because we moved with my auntie. We were the only 3 kids in primary school, Black children in that neighborhood. My nephew, my cousin was in reception or year 1, and then I was in year 3, and my sister was in year 4, and we were the only Black children in the whole school.
Crazy. It gets worse when you're just visiting.
Yes.
So being in that vicinity would be crazy.
Yeah, so a lot of people, all the parents' thoughts go through the children because the children don't have any filters.
And I want to understand the first thing that you jumped into when you decided, this is the career that I want to do, and I'm going to run with this. Before we get into what we're here for, what was the first thing that you did?
What, this career?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a hard question. I don't think there's a clear answer to that.
Oh, yeah?
No, because I've had such a journey to get into my role.
Yeah.
I started from I loved music. I thought I was going to be a singer. I thought I was going to be a musician. And then my mom was like, nope, go to school. And then I was like, okay, what's next? And then I thought I'd do something creative. So I became a journalist and I started doing things like creatively with media. And that didn't really work out for me because I just didn't know how to break into the media world, right? Yeah. So I got a first-class honors degree in journalism, got loads of experience, but just getting a job that paid really well and that set me up really good was really hard. So then I started pivoting into something where people are like, oh, tech is growing, tech is, becoming a thing. And then
What year was that?
That was 2017.
That's when you like put your mind in the tech world?
Yeah, 2017. So that's when I had finished uni and then people were like, come on, let's kind of go into this direction. At that time, I had already started looking at courses and things like that. But then I didn't really put my whole heart into it until I started seeing the salaries. I was like, I can make that much more than a journalist. And I was like, maybe I don't love journalism that much.
You like the money, though.
I was like, I love the money.
This is a paycheck.
Yeah, so that's when I actually pivoted because of money. So it was.
Would you do journalism like again if you had the chance to? Now that you like at least you're moving, you've got your things sorted out. Would you like, for the sake of the passion that you had for it, would you do it?
So I think I'm a journalist at heart forever. I'll always be a journalist. And that's why I went into podcasting as well and doing the documentary that I did, because that was me being a journalist. I don't think I'll ever stop being a journalist. Yeah. At heart, I always want to talk about social issues. I want to talk about improving quality of life. I want to talk about just life and exploring people's stories, right? So me being able to do a documentary in tech, that is me being a journalist. And I will never be a conventional journalist, but I will use the platform that I...
Journalist, freestyle.
Yeah, a more like tailored journalist to something more of a cause. So yeah, I will never stop being a journalist. I've never stopped.
Shout out, man, but you've stopped being a singer or an artist.
Who said?
That's a good one, it's a Za Nyimbo podcast, I'm chilling with Rachel. We're going to talk about tech, music, everything around that. And stick around. Make sure you subscribe, like, and share. You need to share because the information we're about to share here is going to be interesting for your ears. You're watching Za Nyimbo TV. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And also, if you want to partner and promote your stuff, you can get in touch. The numbers are in the description of the video. But also, if you're watching this from Facebook, the numbers and the links will be down in the comment section. Keep it locked. So I would like you to maybe give us a background of what that looks like. I'm a software test engineer.
Okay, so I'm going to make it music centered for your audience to understand.
Yeah.
So when somebody thinks of an idea, so back in the day, me and you would have been listening to CDs or tapes, or our parents would be listening to vinyl. So one day, somebody would have been like, I want people to listen to music on their phone. And for something to happen like that, it has to go through what we call a software development lifecycle. And the product owner would be like, okay, let's discover everything we need to do. So the person would be like, okay, I want to create Spotify, for example. So it's going to have these features. They're going to be able to log in. They're going to be able to have a profile. They're going to be able to create playlists and search for artists or songs or whatever, right? What we do. And a business analyst will be able to work with the product owner and kind of put those in little tickets. So little boxes of one feature, break it all down. And then what I call the builders are the coders. So everybody knows what a programmer is or a coder. So they'll come in and I liken them to like builders. They put everything together one by one, feature by feature. And then testers will come and look at each feature, each brick and go, that's not been done properly, or we need to test this, and we need to make sure that this thing actually does what it's supposed to. So if we're opening Spotify, can we log in?
Okay.
How are we logging in? So testers will come in and say, I'm expected to log in with my username or do I have a username? It's not a username actually. So a username shouldn't work.
Yeah.
So if it works with Rachel.Mlota, that's a bug. It should be rachelmlota@whatever.com.
Okay.
And then if it works with, maybe we want to enable a phone number to work, does that work? But then if I put something else in there that shouldn't work, or maybe...
If it works, it's a bug.
It's a bug, yeah. So if it's not supposed to do something, it shouldn't do it. If it's supposed to do something, it should do it. And it sounds simple, but it's not that straightforward. Because let's say you go on your Spotify account, and then you're maybe searching for an artist, and it's not helping you. Like, let's say you're going, I want, Eli.
Like your favorite artist, Kel K.
Exactly. You want Kel K, you want Eli, you want somebody, and it's not coming up. You're going to get so frustrated. You're going to be like, I know this artist exists. Why is it not bringing it up? Because there's a bug. The search functionality is broken. And you don't want your customers, we're customers of Spotify. If we get frustrated, I'll close Spotify, go into Apple Music. Straight away, I'll go to Apple Music, unsubscribe, cancel my subscription to Spotify. It doesn't work. So as a software...
put in a bad review.
Exactly.
Okay.
Bad review, whatever. So as a software tester, I don't want you as a user to be frustrated. I want to be frustrated for you so that you never be frustrated. So we make sure we don't deploy any bugs so you don't get frustrated when you're using the application. It's easy for you. It's great for you, and it's great for my boss because he's making money. And then it's good for you because you're having a great experience.
So you come in between Aineage, the platform, and to Ifeo or user.
Exactly. We're the gatekeepers.
Yeah.
So before we release software, let's say a new feature goes onto Spotify, like Spotify Wrapped. That would have had to be tested by a software tester. Is it showing me the right information? Is it my information or is it somebody else's information? We go through all of that. We ask the tedious questions one by one. We test over and over again. We do regression testing. So I won't go into that, but I hope that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. So which brings me to the next interesting question that I wanted to ask you, Woody. Okay, have you tried some of the softwares here and maybe seen a gap, to have more people who do what you do, so that our softwares, because we're migrating Pompan, right? It's not like we haven't been in the game for a long time. That's why most of our services are online, but they're not as perfect. So what are your steps to making sure that maybe we have more skills like this here in Malawi?
That's a great question. So I started exploring the Malawian tech scene not long ago. So I've kind of worked in America. I've gone to a couple of other countries in Africa as well, Ghana and Kenya and South Africa, and Egypt and a couple of other places. And I thought, let me go home and see how best I can serve my country. So when I got here and I started having conversations and exploring the tech scene, I realized that it's not as mature as the one that I'm part of in the UK. So what that means is we don't have, as I was explaining the SDLC, the software development lifecycle, I explained to you we have different roles. We have the product owners, we have the business analysts, we have delivery leads, we have UX UI designers, and et cetera, and myself, the software tester. I realized it's a lot more scaled back here, and it could be because of many factors, but I believe the main factor is cost. A lot of people want to save money on testing and a couple of other things that seem...
But that creates bugs for their softwares, though.
Yeah.
Which means bad user experience.
Exactly.
Which means losing money.
Exactly. So. But they don't see it like that. They see it as, let me save on the team so that I get the cheapest app. And then when they get the cheapest app, it's either they offshore it to other countries, like India, and then they get shipped back an application that's terrible, and they can't even go into an office to be like, hey guys, can you fix this? They can turn off their phones and say, hey, we gave you the app. And so now you have to put up with a terrible application. And then the other option is you go for a local developer that's giving you a really cheap price, that does a really shoddy job, or that does a quick job. And I'm not bashing developers, because we have a love-hate relationship, because we want to make them look good as well.
Yeah.
If they're going to sign their name on an application, as testers, we want them to be proud of it, because we remove all their bugs and defects.
Straight.
And if we don't exist in their working flow, that means that they might not be at their best, and they might not deliver the best product. So that's what's happening here in Malawi. I've gone around, I've not even found a development team with testers involved, like certified testers that have certifications, that have training, that can actually test the software. I've not found that here. So the problem with that is the software that's getting deployed to the Malawian population is unfortunately not good quality.
It's not good enough, you know, like you cannot compare the standard that we have here. This my standards are my country is in. So for you who's been all around, like almost a lot of countries, you know, you've tested, you've been on apps that are really like top notch, and you've seen apps that are here in Malawi, and you can tell the differences and the gaps that are there. One thing that you can talk about when it comes to quality assurance, you know, like what is it that you can, you know, advise Malawians when it comes to these things? Should we take it serious, or this is just like, you know what, as long as it's cheap, I'm good, you know, I don't care. So one of the things that I've also learned before I'll let you jump in is the fact that we make the app, most of the apps that are here, we make the app and it's like whatever, my guys, but most of the times no maintenance, there is no going back to hear feedback from the people that are using it. It's just that this is what you get. So in your word, I know it's different because you look into all of these aspects and you know, into the deep sector of the whole thing. If you're dissecting an app here, what is the first thing that you can tell me is a problem? You know, like, you know, I've tested this like one instance. You're trying to look for an app that can help you maybe order for food.
Yes.
Right? And then you also try to look for an app that can help you find places for rent, where you can rent, you know, some spaces and stuff like that. So you have the experience. So like the challenges that you can tell us that we need to work on as Malawians right now, what are they?
Okay. From my experience, from what I've seen, I feel like the applications that have been created or that are being created are mostly people identify a fault or a problem in society. For example, food delivery. But the problem with some of the solutions that are being implemented is they're not really doing the end-to-end flow of a user in a way that ensures ease and speed and making sure that the customer is going to be happy, right? So I think the problem, again, it really goes back to designing the user journey and making sure that it's easy and quick and resolving issues that arise. So if you can't, for example, use a certain feature in an application and you've already lost your money to, you know, this order that you've already created, it's really frustrating, and it creates bad experiences and bad news travel faster than good experiences.
So you're doing yourself a disservice.
Exactly. So what happens is you are solving a problem, but if you haven't tested that software so well to make sure that it works efficiently and quickly and resolves issues in real time on the application, then you're probably going to lose more customers than gain them. And then you're probably going to run your business to the ground faster than you might think. So I'm going to use another example outside of Malawi. So one of the first software testing teams was actually NASA. It was Jared M. Weinberg. He created the first testing team in history, and they were trying to obviously create this product and create software that's going to serve their NASA project. And that was one of the first successful NASA projects because they had testers, right? So a lot of coming back to Malawi then, they adopted it, and then eventually that's when that was the predecessor to Y2K bug, and then it built up a lot of the devs and testers culture in America and in the UK, right? Obviously the UK kind of follows America in a way, so that's kind of that was in the 60s, and then it kind of like dominoed effect from a successful project to then everyone going, oh, we're going to adopt it, and then testing strategies started coming together, and then different things started kind of forming and falling into place because everyone's like, oh, if they've been successful, we're going to try it too. So going back to your question, the first thing that needs to happen, like it happened in America, is mindset shift. Because NASA was able to go, guess what we've done with a testing team? So then people are like, oh, I want a testing team then. So what we need here is one person, one company to be like, I'm going to set up a testing team, see how that's going to affect my product, how it's going to improve my product. And then when people start going, oh, how did you do this so well? Oh, because we've got a testing department. And then people are going to be like, oh, I'm going to get a testing department too. And then it's going to just become a domino effect, right? Yeah. And I want to say it's not just testers. I've not heard enough of business analysts or product owners or, delivery leads or other roles here as well feel a bit malnourished and non-existent.
Yeah, they're not there.
So I think it's a bit more than just testers. I think they need to flesh it out, and that's why it's considered an immature test ecosystem. It's not yet developed. And I think that's why it needs to be developed, so that when you have all these roles, then you can see, oh, this is what we're able to achieve with all these different players, so that developers are not architects and designers and testers and everything, because one person can't do all of that.
Do you think you're in Malawi for that particular reason to make sure that we have certain things put into place when it comes to developing softwares, making sure that we've got the best experience for users, and if that's a yes, what are the steps that you're taking to make sure that you have a bunch of you guys doing something like this, coming up with your own testing company or something like that? I want to know the steps that you're taking.
Okay, so the reason why I have decided to come to Malawi, spend a bit more time here, and invest into the country with my expertise, the reason why I've decided to do that is because I feel like we have potential. We have we've got such a huge space to grow into. We've got a very young workforce, and they're primed and ready to go, and they're so eager. But the problem that I find is they have a lack of accessibility to information. So I would love to provide that at a very minimal effort for them, more like me bringing it to them and being putting it in their faces. So that's what I would love to do. So bringing more tech meetups to the city, opening conversations around the roles in tech and how we can grow into them as an ecosystem and actually go from a really, limited ecosystem to a bit more of a fleshed out one, with a bit more maybe boot camps and accessibility to these things. So I have a boot camp back home, a testing boot camp that I would love to bring here, and I'd love to also just bring the meetups that I used to do back home here as well. So that's where we're going to start. We're going to start on the 21st of March, a tech meetup, tech exchange it's called. We're just going to have all the tech professionals, exchange opportunities.
These are just Malawians?
Anyone in Malawi, yes.
Oh, they're coming through on the 25th, you say?
21st of March, 21st, Saturday, yes, 10 a.m. We'll just have a couple of hours where we're going to brainstorm opportunities internally and also globally as well. And also look at exchanging ideas and skills and whatnot, because when you have conversations, you can grow together.
How can someone be part of this?
So you can go to Kwenda, get tickets.
Kwenda.co, for those who don't know.
Yep, get yourself some tickets and position yourself. Even, let's talk about a bit more about tech, right, with music, because I'm on a music platform.
Definitely. You know, like before you even jump into that, you say that one of the things, like off camera, one of the things that made you fluent in some of your Chichewa phrases and terminologies is the music.
Yeah.
How did you get introduced to Malawi music? Because you went to UK, kale, before even Malawi music was on this platform, Spotify and all these things. But then you said like Malawi music really made you feel more disconnected in Malawi, and you wanted to connect more. And
okay, let me dive into that. So I've actually been out of the country for like almost 24 years now, without showing my age. So it's almost 24 years. And so when I left, I really got disconnected. The only thing that we had was Chichewa in the house. My mom and dad would speak to us in Chichewa. We would respond in English, and it was fine. But then in 2023, I had been coming. I came for 2-3 holidays. And then in 2023, a friend of mine posted her Wrapped, Spotify Wrapped. And she put up her Wrapped, and all mine were like Nigerian music, Ghanaian music, like, R&B, hip hop, and hers were like Malawian songs. And I was like,
Malawian songs.
Malawian songs. And I was like, are they even good? So that's when I was like, okay, let me start reconnecting with my roots, right? So I was like, Wizkid, Davido, step to the side for a little bit. Let
me see my Malawian people.
Burna Boy, I love you, but I'll be back. So then that's when I started listening to Malawian songs. I bumped into Eli. My favorite. Number one. I was like, who is this guy? His music was just amazing. Dremo, I bumped into him, and I bumped into recently, actually, Onesmus.
Onesmus is a recent, like...
For me. I didn't know. I went to Onesmus versus... See, I don't even know the other one.
Onesmus versus Armstrong.
I don't even know Armstrong. I was like, all right, Armstrong, get off the stage.
I want this.
I was like, where's Onesmus? And then he didn't do Controller.
Oh yeah? That was the song that you
broke my heart, Onesmus.
So for you, Armstrong versus Onesmus
is all the way. Like, I was like, all right, he's all right. When Armstrong is, I was like, he's all right.
But it's the Genesis. Armstrong is the Genesis.
We all have our journeys. It doesn't mean you should invite Rachel from 10 years ago right now.
Of course.
It's Rachel now. That we're gonna... I don't know, but anyway,
this is the Rachel now that we're having interviews.
Exactly, but everybody loves the throwback, so I'm not gonna, it's like listening to Snoop Dogg, right? Snoop Dogg is Snoop Dogg. We love Snoop Dogg, the old school Snoop Dogg. We don't really like Snoop Lion. I don't, anyway.
The reggae version of Snoop.
If they said Lion versus Dogg, I'd be like, you better get out the room.
Get out. I know you're lying in the jungle, but here we're gonna go for the
Snoop Dogg. So
wild.
That's just my preference, but everybody loves the throwback. So it's just I didn't listen to them back then. But when I started listening to Eli, Saint, everybody, all these guys, I started learning the lyrics a bit, and I'd go to my mom and be like, Mom,
what does this
mean? And then she would be like, Dad, or like, okay, let me explain. And then she'll go line by line, and I'll be like, thank you. And I'd go back, start singing it.
Wow, that's how you...
Yes, I remember I called you one time. I was like, when Eli did Disappointed. And I was like, let's go line by line.
What does this mean?
I
remember that.
So I love doing that because maybe I loved music before. So it's just natural for me to learn the language properly through the music. And 2 years in, 2024 to 2026, I feel like I'm an expert now, and I've got the best playlist.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Who's number one on your playlist right now?
Eli was five songs. It was Disappointed, Composure, Ju.
And Eli and Maselva.
Yeah, and honestly, he literally got all top five on my Wrapped. I was like, wow, this guy needs to pay me now. I listened to him 24/7.
Have you met him before?
Never met Eli. Well, I have once in
Where?
Birmingham.
Oh, he came to perform.
He came to the UK in Birmingham.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was very brief, like, yeah. He was like, oh, those fangirls. Yeah, Eli, I was fangirling. That was me.
Wow, that's interesting, man. Like, apart from these names that you've mentioned, let me ask it this way: which is one of the biggest songs that has really taught you a lot of like Malawian words?
Oh, that's a hard question.
The one that you can go and sing word for word, like the longest. I am singing.
It's hard to answer that question.
Why? It should be an obvious like.
It's Ujeni Koma. Katumba. By Eli.
I said, what did Katumba?
Katumba, yeah. It's that one. Because I didn't know what a lot of the words meant. Because there was a bit of reference to things I've never heard about and never heard of. So my mom had to actually really talk me through that song, like properly. She was explaining things. Yes, she was explaining things. And I don't want to say it because just in case I say it wrong.
Can you say it?
No. She said something about, imagine if she said it wrong and then now I'm saying it.
We'll correct you.
So he refers to something being hidden, right? Chitumwa. So my mom taught me what a chitumwa is. I didn't know what that was.
Can you explain it in English?
My God. What if I get it wrong? Okay,
what is a chitumwa?
She said that it was like something to do with black magic. And people kind of like say into it.
Like casting a spell
and keep it. And then the other one is my penalty. Penalty also taught me a lot of, I like black magic songs, Mwined. I'm not a black magic person, but it seems I gravitate towards those songs. I love penalty, man.
That is the song that you, is that yeah.
Gibson. Yeah. I love that guy.
You love that song?
Yeah.
Can you sing word for word?
Zitala my penalty, baby. Yeah. I love that song. I somebody asked me at a wedding, they were like, what song do you want to dance into? I was like, Zitala my penalty. Yeah, in the UK. And I was dancing down the aisle like this.
What was the reaction from people?
Because it was a Malawian crowd. So they were like, oh! they loved it. They were like, no way.
How do you guys like in like the UK keep like in touch in terms of like community? What other takeaways do you guys like come together? Like when you have a party, for example, because I know Malawian communities are always, together when you're out there.
Yeah.
So how do you guys do it? How do you keep in touch? How do you stay in comms in your country?
I would say, so obviously we all moved in smaller families compared to the families we have here. So instead of, like for me, I went from having, 20 plus aunties and uncles around me to just having 3 or 4 aunties and uncles around me in the UK. So what happens is you adopt new family. So when you kind of like say, that's my auntie, now those are my cousins. So I've got a big family in the UK. So we create a big family. And obviously they are my family now because I've grown up with them my whole life. And when we come to weddings and baby showers and birthdays, whatever, it's like we play music from home, and that's how we actually stay in contact and connected with each other as well as our culture. So Independence Day, we would probably come together and have some, food and music in the background as well. And tying it back to tech, I feel like a lot of people don't realize how important they should take technology in their creativity steps. So for example, back home, whenever we come together, I will always take up the DJ deck and be like Lucius Banda or like Bele Mende or something like that.
You know Bele Mende?
Yeah, and
that is a big song here.
Yes, Samwa Jangala, that one.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. I'll be like, and these are the songs, the memories I was telling you about.
Yeah.
Core memories. I remember these songs.
From way back.
I remember them. Yeah. So the reason why I want to talk about tech here is if you're a creative and you haven't thought about using tech like the AI that's come in and things like that to help you with metadata and understanding the technology behind streaming and revenue building on these platforms like Spotify, YouTube, and TikTok, Instagram, and all these things, it's very important because going back to the party, whenever I pick up a phone and it's on Spotify, half of the songs, Tsiga's not on there, Bella Mendes not on there. Some of the songs I'm looking for from back in the day are not on there. And then some of the current songs as well, sometimes they're only on YouTube or maybe haven't been uploaded properly or are not on the playlist that they should be on there, or they don't have the right metadata, so they don't come up on my, radar.
On your like recommendations and stuff.
Exactly. So that's why now you should take that more seriously than ever before as an artist, to make sure you're on all these platforms.
If you want to go global and be available to people that are not only in Malawi,
exactly,
you need to take these things seriously.
Exactly, because I'm not in Malawi. So if it never comes on my radar or never comes in our radar back home in the UK, we're never going to know of you. So I think it's very, very important, because I found there's a lot of songs on YouTube with millions of views, and then you go on Spotify, they don't exist. You're losing money. You're losing...
How are you losing money?
Because you're losing streams and you're losing customers like me, because when I'm at a party, I'm not going between YouTube and Spotify. I'm just sticking on Spotify. So if you're not on Spotify, bye.
You hear? Timanena bamuzi bano mubweza bweza kunabuli. You need to make sure that your music is on these platforms. Make sure your music is on Spotify. Make sure your music is on Apple Music. You can use all of these distribution like platforms. There's DistroKid. There's 1RPM. Some of them are free. Some of them are like, it's cheap. You pay once in a year and then you move, because people like these guys who are not in Malawi, that's the only way that they get to access. They don't have our old ways of accessing music. They don't download music anymore. It's only on streaming platforms. So like you continuing on that, like what would you like advise? Because I see that most artists who come from Malawi coming to the UK to perform, you guys make sure the Malawian community that is there, it makes sure that they should go and watch these guys. Moving forward, what would you want to see our artists do to connect to the tech that we're talking about right now?
I need people to be as serious as Lucius Banda was serious with his career. I feel like that guy was the serious guy. He was so serious with he's the only old school guy that's got his full collection on Spotify.
Oh yeah?
And it was there way before he even died.
He's the only one?
The one, so I was looking at Lene Ho.
Oh, Gides Chalamanda doesn't have the, I agree with you. He doesn't have a
I went on his Spotify.
Balibi.
And there's 2 songs there that somebody else uploaded on their collection.
So basically this guy is eating Gides Chalamanda's money.
Exactly. And then you look at Elvis Presley. He's got everything online. You look at Michael Jackson. They died before even all these Spotify and all these stuff was a thing. But their estate is making money, right? So you have to look at it like that, right? Be as serious as people like the ones that are business minded, right? I think that's the first thing that you should be. Don't just be an artist. If you don't have a marketing team, you don't have a record label that's doing the heavy lifting for you, go on an AI platform, instruct it, create an agent. You can go online and say, hey, be my marketing director.
The importance of implementing these things as a tool, not as something that you should look at as a competitor, but as a tool. Like what you're saying, you can create an agent. People don't know that. You can do stuff like that with AI. I'm telling you, 80% of the people don't know that you can go and then tell AI or ChatGPT and say, today I want you to be like my manager.
Yeah.
What can I do to do ABCD? And it will tell you.
Yeah.
So I want you to stress on those things.
Okay, so the first thing I don't want to hear is Forex, because you can have free versions of these things. Don't use, I don't have an international account, so I can't be like you with all these AI tools. Use the free ones until you get access to the international Forex or whatever that you need. I can't understand the struggles, but I understand the workaround, right? You can work around it. You can find the free version of ChatGPT. You don't need to be technical to get on there. So you can go on there and say, hey, I need you to help me review this contract that I received for this upcoming CD, right? That I'm doing CD, because we're talking CDs now, so CD record that I'm doing. Before they cut you out of 50% or more of your profits, have ChatGPT review it, and maybe they'll tell you, oh, this is
This deal is
terrible deal.
Don't even sign it.
Don't think about it. So you have to be smart, right? I can't afford a lawyer. Go on ChatGPT. It'll give you a couple of free prompts. It'll give you a good feedback, and then tomorrow go back on it again when it's free. Or, wait a couple of hours when it's free again, because it is free.
It is free,
Yeah, so use those kind of platforms. You don't need to be technical to understand how you can use AI to serve you. And the best thing you can understand as a creative is that AI is there to serve you. It's there to work for you, and it's not against you. Where it becomes a bit risky is when we see AI creating, people using it for bad. So in the creative scene, we've got people creating artists, voices, songs, and competitive work and whatever for real people. So what we have to do as an industry globally is to regulate these like AI things and make sure ownership is really vetted. And even social media platforms like TikTok and Instagram, they need to be very, very, very strict against certain AI development because there's so many accounts and things being produced that we don't know if it's AI or if it's real. That's where I'd say it becomes a bit risky long term, and we need to regulate it as a whole. But for it to serve you, yes, of course it can serve you, because technology, all it does is aid, right? It aids whatever vehicle that you are trying to...
The guy who's behind the tech is the one who controls it. You know? It is as good as the person behind the keyboard.
Exactly. It's like you saying, oh, I don't want to drive a car, I'd rather walk. My friend, it will take you a long time
to get where you're going.
It will take you a long
Just
time.
drive,
Exactly. Get in that car, drive responsibly, and use it for your good, right? And that's the same thing AI is. It's just a vehicle which is going to help you get somewhere faster and a bit smarter. So learn which tools are going to be good for you as an artist. And then if you'd like, maybe get into the tech scene as a musician to solve problems for musicians.
True.
Right? So that's, imagine,
that's an angle.
Exactly. Imagine as an artist, you're like, oh, I wish there was this thing. Come to our event, find a developer, develop your application that you need, and solve that problem. And before you know it, you solved a global problem, because WhatsApp was once a prototype. It was once...
Now they keep adding all these features. You know, you can do so many things.
Now it's part of Google, it's part of Facebook and all these things, and Instagram, Meta, right? It's part of Meta. It's all of that. It wasn't at the beginning. That was bought.
Yeah, definitely. You know, I mean, these are like interesting conversations we should be having, you know, and I think what we lack in the country is people understanding the importance of software or the digital world and where it's going. There's no escaping it. You'd rather choose to be part of it and find a niche now, because here the competition is not yet that big. So you've got the chance to get into it now than maybe 5-10 years later. So coming back to you, you're having this event, you know, and maybe someone is watching and they're like, you know what, I would like to like sit down with her and just understand more, you know, of what she's doing, or how I can get into like the software testing engineering, or maybe other things, you know, how can they get to you?
Well, you can find me on LinkedIn. That's definitely my #1 platform professionally. I'm also on YouTube. I'm also on Instagram and TikTok. So you can follow my platforms. I'm mostly active on LinkedIn now, but on the other platforms maybe in the near future. And obviously, if you want to book in a consultation with myself or just come to my event, just reach out and just let me know. Yeah.
Shout out, you know, I was chilling with Rachel, but before she steps out, we're gonna ask her a few interesting questions. Are you ready? Yep. You know, so I'm gonna put you on the spot.
Put me on the spot.
Eli Njuchi or KK?
Eli.
Eli Njuchi or Onesimus?
Eli. I had to pause, but got a little competition. But Eli.
Pelemende or Controller?
Ooh, now that's really hard. Oh, why would you do that?
Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna Controller.
Oh yeah? You've forsaken your childhood.
I'm so sorry, Pelemende. The thing is, so Pelemende is a banger. Do you know what? I'm gonna have to forsake Onesmus and go Pelemende because when you put that song on, young and old unite.
Yeah.
And we all sing
Pelemende.
the forbidden song that we probably shouldn't be singing together, young and old. Because what are we singing about? You know, when I grew up, I was like,
this song is
what the song is about? I was like, I didn't know this was a song.
Yeah, San B is one of the dopest writers, composers. Shout out to the homie. I grew up in the same neighborhood with him.
No way.
Yeah.
Nah, he's cool people.
I'm looking forward to the next release if he's dropping anything new. So look out for that one.
But he should definitely put his collection on Spotify and everything.
Definitely.
That would be good for him. Yeah.
Manvaro Abelemente, massive artist. Adi nyimbo zanu zipezeke Spotify because there are people who love that song in the UK and they sing to it, they dance to it. So it doesn't make sense to not have these songs on these online platforms. But sikuti inuyo odisi nyimbo yanu mukabange upload nyimbo. Let San B do it and let him upload those songs out there.
Yeah.
Chiwaya Kavena Nsima.
Chiwaya.
I didn't even finish.
Chiwaya. You didn't need to finish. Chiwaya.
All the way?
All the way. I would take any I landed and went straight to Wandilo to eat Chiwaya.
Oh yeah?
Straight away.
Unakaja Chiwaya ndijani?
Give me the quail. Yep. Give me the
So wakaja, you know what quail is in Chichewa?
Zinziri. Yep. I was like, give me that. Give me. And then I'm there trying to bust out my Chichewa so they don't overcharge me. And the chicken. My chips are and then I bring out a wad of cash and I'm trying to count it and I'm like, eesh.
You're like, nah, man, she's not from here.
And then I'm counting the fives like, it's so obvious. They're like, this woman's not from here, man.
So unakaja Zinziri, Chiwaya, Ndori, the chicken, everything. You had like a plate food there, good.
I think I spent like 80,000 or something on like
I think you're not crazy.
I was like, everything.
I want Malawian food.
Give me some beef. I was like, give me everything. Because when I'm back home, I crave it.
Yeah. Malambe or Masao?
I think I like the white one. I like the Malambe. But yeah, I like Malambe. Yeah.
Mango or Mabeala?
You know the answer to that.
No, I don't know the answer.
Mango.
Oh yeah?
Mango all the way. Mango. I came for mango season specific. I was like, when do the mangoes start? November, cool.
Okay?
Oh, mate, I packed like half my suitcase in January when I was going back with full of mangoes.
Didn't that get you in trouble?
Oh, I need to stop getting why am I saying this online?
You what? Mango baggy?
Guys, please, I'm going to get stopped by immigration every time now. Now I've confessed.
Don't be like,
Rachel Mlota, stop right there. We've heard you bring contraband. Like, come here. Let's have a look at your suitcase. I don't have any drugs.
What are contraband? Yeah, mango, man.
I'm like, I don't do drugs. I just do mangoes.
Hey, that is so crazy, man.
So yeah, literally, I left my clothes. I said, I'm bringing back mangoes. And guess what? I landed and the whole Malawian community was like straight to my house.
So how does that look like?
Mangoes.
When you bring in, like, let's say this the food,
yeah.
Do you have people who come to buy from you or just to like a community? What happens?
You could sell it, but obviously you give it to your aunties and your cousins and everybody. You want everyone to enjoy, especially because England is miserable.
Yeah.
So if everyone's so miserable, you bring them a taste from home, they'll love you forever.
Yeah. What is the most like thing that you're looking forward to tasting Chago Malawi when you're in the UK? Like, I want you to speak on behalf of the other Malawians, not just you.
I kid you not, it's mangoes.
Really?
Everybody loves mangoes. There's nothing like Malawian mangoes in this world. You will go to Tesco, Asda, all these supermarkets, we buy mangoes, we just eat them for the sake of mercy. There's nothing else.
Really?
And then you're just thinking, I can't wait to go home and have that yellow mango.
Yeah.
Mpunga,
what about mpunga?
We love the rice here, yeah. The only issue for me is the weight. it's so heavy, isn't it, to take that
wina
vaccine.
akatangopeza njira
Yeah.
wili mpunga uja muzonyamula
Take it.
wangofika uyuke kungofinya badani da
Oh,
50 kgs. That's it.
Absolutely.
You're gonna be rich.
Gonna be rich.
Any plans for the future for Malawi? For yeah. Why did I forget that? Like a little bit of your company and what you have the plans. What plans you have for the future? You know, and if there is other people you want to connect with, you can really like speak to the camera. Those who want to partner with you, please go ahead and do that.
Cool. So myself, Malawi, I would love to see a Malawi in the next 5 to 10 years that is so advanced in their ecosystem here, in their practices and everything that they're doing within their companies and individually. I would love us to grow as a tech ecosystem. And what I do is I love bringing value to communities. So long term, I want my company to be part of the owners of the best talent. So if you are out there, you'd love to get into tech, you want to upskill, or you're already in tech and you'd love to get in contact with me and join my movement, please get in touch and reach out, Rachel Mlota on all platforms, LinkedIn, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, reach out.
Shout out, you've been with me, your homie, KBG, chilling with Rachel. And until next time, please make sure you like, subscribe, and share the content. Especially this one is very important. If you're an artist, you know where you need to go. Just skip it to that, that particular place where we were talking about tech. You're going to need that. Until next time, peace out.